There are a number of separate different protest groups here outside Westminster Abbey. I'll just run through a couple of them. First of all, we've got anti-monarchy protesters Republic. They are here protesting the fact that they do not want a hereditary head of state. Now, there has been some criticism of the fact that they are here because many are saying that the King is here in his capacity as the new head of the Commonwealth. And as you said, Mark, it was a decision which was made in 2018 following the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting, because it was Queen Elizabeth II's wish that her son, Charles, would one day succeed her as head of the Commonwealth. But anti-monarchy protest group Republic, they are saying, well, wherever the King goes, he is still an unelected head of a state, and that's what they have a problem with. The other big protest today, which we were speaking about on breakfast on GBNews this morning, is the LGBT plus human rights protesters, who are saying that 22 of the 56 Commonwealth nations have anti-LGBT plus laws, and 7 of which you can actually get life imprisonment for being homosexual. So there's a big noisy protest group just over to my right. We'll see if we can get some pictures to you, or you can have a look on our social media for that. But in terms of what's going on today, it is the first Commonwealth Day service for His Majesty the King as head of the Commonwealth. As you said, it is forging a sustainable and peaceful common future. That is the theme of 2023, and it comes off the back of a pretty frosty relationship, isn't it, between the King, Buckingham Palace, and what's going on with the Duke and Duchess of Sussex on the other side of the Atlantic. And of course, it was 2020's Commonwealth Day service, which was the final engagement of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex as working members of the royal family. And if you remember, there was a few, let's say, frosty looks between the senior members of the royal family back then. But there's also going to be a big focus on sustainability. 60% of Commonwealth citizens across the 56 nations are under the age of 30. So there is a big focus on youth-led action, and it's expected that His Majesty, during his speech, which he will be delivering at the Great Pulpit here in Westminster Abbey, will reflect sustainability and climate change. Several members of the royal family are going to be here: the King, Queen Consort, Princess of Wales, the new Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh as well, Mark, and the Princess Royal and Vice Admiral Sir Tim Lawrence. And I think it's going to be one of the last occasions we'll see the King and Queen Consort inside Westminster Abbey ahead of their coronation in a couple of months' time. But according to the papers this morning, Buckingham Palace's ballroom has been transformed into a makeshift Westminster Abbey so they can rehearse in private ahead of the big day.
And given what you've just said, Cameron, we can hear the noise from the protests. Is there perhaps going to be a reassessment then about the coronation? And I know security perhaps will be a little tighter for that occasion than this particular Commonwealth Day, and there are political circumstances attached to this, but it may well be exercising some minds at the degree of protest today.
Yes, and there seems to be a steady build-up of anti-monarchy protests, Mark. This is the third occasion now in the space of a couple of months where we have seen a public engagement which the King is attending, which has had quite a noisy minority, I must stress, but a minority of very noisy protesters who are very much anti-monarchy. The first was Milton Keynes, then we had Colchester, and now today we've got them here at the Commonwealth Day service, and they are expected to have a big protest here at Westminster Abbey on Coronation Day itself. But I think we live in a democracy, don't we? And the Commonwealth is a family of nations, 56 nations, and they strive towards a shared interest in terms of social and economic prosperity. And perhaps some countries are slightly more developed than others. But there's going to be 2,000 strong congregation inside, made up of a diverse mix of people. There's going to be performances, West End performances. There's government ministers expected to attend, the Commonwealth Secretary General as well. So it's going to be a pretty packed day, but nonetheless, there are very much very noisy protesters here outside Westminster Abbey today.